Once upon a time, building a mobile network was a game for giants. A club so exclusive that only governments and colossal corporations could afford a seat at the table. It required billions of dollars, decades of experience, and a sprawling web of physical infrastructure. Then, in 2018, a newcomer crashed the party. Rakuten, Japan's e-commerce king, decided to do the impossible. Build the country's fourth major mobile network from scratch. Their plan wasn't just ambitious. It was revolutionary. Forget traditional, hardware-heavy networks. Rakuten envisioned a world first, a fully virtualized, cloud-native network. Think of it like this. Instead of building expensive, specialized machines for every function, they wanted to run their entire network on software, using generic, off-the-shelf servers. This approach, known as Open RAN, promised to slash costs, boost flexibility, and usher in a new era of telecom innovation. The potential savings were staggering up to 40% on capital expenses and 30% on operating costs. The industry was captivated. If Rakuten succeeded, they wouldn't just be a new player in Japan. They would rewrite the global rulebook for telecommunications. The mastermind behind this audacious gamble was Hiroshi Mikitani, Rakuten's charismatic and fiercely competitive founder. Mikitani saw a chance to break the stranglehold of Japan's big three carriers, NTT Docomo, KDDI, and SoftBank. For years, these companies had enjoyed comfortable profits from some of the highest mobile fees in the developed world. Mikitani's strategy was a declaration of war. He would undercut them with a simple, disruptive pricing model, unlimited data for a fraction of the cost. His goal wasn't just to compete, it was to conquer. He aimed to sign up 15 million subscribers and fundamentally disrupt the cozy old. The stage was set for a David versus Goliath battle, with a potential $10 billion price tag. The initial rollout was a masterclass in market disruption. Rakuten launched with a zero-yen plan. For the first year, everything was free. Unlimited data, free calls, no strings attached. It was an offer so good, it seemed almost unbelievable. Unsurprisingly, Japanese consumers flocked to sign up. By early 2021, they had attracted over 2 million subscribers in a remarkably short time. The media hailed it as a stroke of genius. Mikitani's gamble appeared to be paying off. He was the toast of the tech world, the visionary who dared to challenge the old guard and win. But beneath the surface, cracks were already beginning to show. Building a network from zero is a monumental task. While Rakuten's virtualized core was innovative, they still needed physical towers to transmit signals. And building those towers took time. Their initial network coverage was patchy, especially outside major cities. To fill the gaps, Rakuten had to sign a costly roaming agreement with one of its rivals, KDDI. This meant that whenever a Rakuten customer was outside Rakuten's coverage area, their phone would switch to KDDI's network, and Rakuten had to pay KDDI for the privilege. This roaming fee became a financial black hole, sucking money out of the company at an alarming rate. Then came the second major blow. The zero-yen plan, while brilliant for attracting customers, was a financial disaster. They were giving away their service for free while paying KDDI a fortune in roaming charges. It was a recipe for unsustainable losses. The company was bleeding cash. In 2022, facing mounting financial pressure, Mikitani made a fateful decision. He pulled the plug on the free plan. Subscribers would now have to pay. The backlash was immediate and severe. Customers who had signed up for the free deal felt betrayed. The exodus was massive. In just a few months, Rakuten lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers. The very strategy that had fueled their meteoric rise was now causing their rapid decline. The public perception shifted from disruptive innovator to a struggling company that couldn't keep its promises. Meanwhile, the financial losses were piling up to astronomical levels. Quarter after quarter, Rakuten Mobile reported operating losses in the hundreds of billions of yen. By 2023, the total losses from the MOBA venture had surpassed a staggering 1 trillion yen, roughly $7 billion. The dream of a low-cost software-driven network was colliding with the harsh reality of its astronomical startup costs and flawed business model. The company's credit rating was downgraded, and investors grew increasingly nervous. The $10 billion gamble was starting to look like a $10 billion blunder. To stop the bleeding, Rakuten has been forced to take drastic measures. They've been selling off assets, from shares in their own bank to their securities division, all to pump cash into the insatiable mobile business. The roaming agreement with KDDI has been renegotiated, but the costs remain a significant burden. The company is now in a race against time. Can they expand their own network fast enough to eliminate their reliance on roaming before the money runs out? Can they win back the trust of customers and start generating a profit? The future of Rakuten Mobile hangs in the balance. Hiroshi Mikitani remains defiant, insisting that the worst is over and that profitability is just around the corner. He points to the technological achievement of building the world's first cloud-native network, an asset he believes will pay off in the long run. Other industry experts are not so sure. They see a company trapped in a cycle of debt, with a mountain of losses and a path to profitability that is still unclear. The story of Rakuten Mobile serves as a powerful cautionary tale. It's a story of ambition, innovation, and the brutal realities of the telecom industry. It shows that even with a revolutionary idea and a billionaire's backing, challenging a deeply entrenched oligopoly is a Herculean task. The question is no longer whether Rakuten can disrupt the market, it's whether they can survive their own disruption. Their software-first dream has created a hardware-sized hole in their finances. And as the losses continue to mount, the world is watching to see if Japan's fourth carrier will become a model for the future or a multi-billion-dollar footnote in the history of telecommunications. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of business and technology.